Imagine you're a cadet on a deep space research station. Something terrible has happened, and the rest of the crew is dead. Most of the ship has been damaged, and you have no idea how you're going to survive. Suddenly, at long last, a transmission comes through from Mission Control in the form of simple commands. But wait, it's scrambled. Parts of it don't make any sense. They keep telling you to repair something and take it somewhere else, but you have no idea what the objective is. Somehow you and Mission Control are going to have to work through this broken communication if you want to save the station and your life. This is Incoming Transmission, designed by Michael Lipton and published by Magic Meeple Games. As the stranded cadet, you'll start here in the center of the board, surrounded by empty hallways, objects like this oxygen converter, as well as rooms like this greenhouse. As the game progresses, you might end up needing to move to where an object or room needs to be repaired. You'll flip that item over, and now it is repaired. You may also be commanded to pick up an object, in which when you do, you'll pick it up, you'll replace it with an empty hallway that you'll have, and then you'll move to where it needs to be dropped off in order to potentially complete an objective. You'll be getting directions from your partner, but they keep coming through scrambled. You don't know what the order they're supposed to be. Sometimes an error will come through and just add a card to whatever your directions are. It's going to be up to you to puzzle things out and figure out what that is that they want you to do. The player representing Mission Control will randomly draw 3 objectives to complete over 7 rounds. Each objective will require picking up a specific object, like we did the oxygen converter, and setting it down next to a location, like the greenhouse. To accomplish this, Mission Control is not allowed to say anything and may only communicate through these simple command cards given to the cadet. So maybe those commands might be north, north, east, east, repair. Unfortunately, they get shuffled before they go to the cadet to represent the jamming in the signal. And then there's also the added element of the transmission cards, which determine how much interference there is this round. Sometimes the signal is clear. For instance, in this round, the 5th command comes through clearly, allowing me to tell them that yes, indeed, repair is the 5th command. Other transmission cards might actually reveal an error. At that point, it will force Mission Control to ruin their carefully crafted plans by inserting a random card into the deck. At that point, it's up to the cadet to decide which card is the error. There's so many things that I love about this game. I'm a huge fan of code names. We recently fell in love with Magic Maze. We actually just got the expansion for it. There's a lot of similarities between this game and those. And so when I read the rules to Instant Transmission, I knew immediately that I wanted to play it. First of all, the theme for the game is spot on. As the cadet, you're constantly hoping that you got the cards right, that you put them in the right order, that you're repairing what you're supposed to. And then as Mission Control, you've sorted the cards, you've got your instructions. They're perfect. They make perfect sense. And the transmission card comes up that adds an error to the deck and ends up sending your cadet off repairing something that didn't ever need to be repaired. And then you're just like pulling your hair out, trying to figure out a way to solve the problem because you can't tell them that they repaired the wrong thing. This can add a lot of frustration in the game, and that's part of the reason why it's so fun. But what's nice about it is you can decide how much frustration you want it to be. You'll get an entire deck of those transmission cards, and you can choose if you want a bunch of easy cards in there or a bunch of hard cards in there. We always decided to amp it up to the hardest level because we found that frustration and trying to figure out the puzzle to be the most fun of the game. Also, something I didn't mention when I was going through the rules, as you complete objectives, you'll get these little signal boost cards. They're basically a one-time help to get you through a jam if you're getting stuck. There was one small issue that we found in choosing your difficulty level. Because of the randomization of the tiles as well as the randomization of the objectives, sometimes a really easy game can be quite hard, and sometimes what should be a really hard game could be relatively easy. The great thing about this game is it's really fun for both sides of the table. It isn't just, fun playing one side or the other. The cadets are really fun because you're trying to use a process of elimination to figure out what the Mission Control is wanting you to do. For Mission Control, it's really fun trying to get the most efficient path through all 3 objectives, and then at the same time figuring out what to do when they get something wrong. And then when everything is going well, a transmission card comes in and ruins it, but it's never in an unfun way. It's always laughable and fun, and if you screw up and you don't play, the game's only 10 minutes long, and you just play it again and you're happy doing it. as I said before, the frustration is part of the fun of the game. There's a lot of games where you just get frustrated because it feels impossible, but in this, that's somehow fun. And, for us, we figured out halfway through, playing, we just wanted to play it at the most difficult level because those obstacles you have to overcome, really pushing your brain to try and figure out what the other, player wants you to do was just so fun. And we would have enjoyed it even with more difficult settings than the ones we had. The only thing I have to say is I don't know if this has the replayability that something like Codenames does. Part of the fun of this game also is trying to understand how to communicate with the other player. And I don't know if this would be as fun playing with the same player over and over again, which is why I would absolutely recommend it for a game night bag so that you're playing with lots of new players each time, trying to figure out how to communicate with that new player. I think that would be much more fun than playing with the same person over and over again. Plus, this game does kind of work as a pseudo party game. It's designed for 2+ players, so you can have multiple people playing the cadet, working together to try and figure out what mission control is wanting. To add to the replayability, you could have some expansions that give you some different tile layouts. Perhaps there's an evil alien trying to destroy you, like a little alien meeple who's chasing you around on the board. Maybe there's some scenarios with like a storyline that you have to get through. But honestly, the game works great just the way it is, and this is just little nitpicking. And of course, I have to talk about the art. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful to look at. It's got that 90s pixel art kind of vibe to it. And while I've seen that art before in stuff like Boss Monster and Pixel Tactics, I think this is really done well. And it looks beautiful and it's fun to play. It adds to that lighthearted humor that the game kind of has as you're playing through it. You never really take it too seriously, which is, I think, what's good about it. The pieces are very legible to read. The objective cards have a complete storyline in them. That flavor text just kind of adds to it, even though it's completely unnecessary. It's nice to see that they put that much care and attention into everything in the game. And honestly, I couldn't find anything of fault in the design or look or feel of the game at all. And that's Incoming Transmission, which is coming mid-July 2018 to Kickstarter. I definitely recommend picking this one up. I can't wait to get the final copy because I think it'll be, a permanent addition to our game night bag, and I think it will be for you too. And that's it. If you've enjoyed this review, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit the little bell icon so you never miss an episode. And please, if you have any ideas, comments, or suggestions, let me know in the comments below. All of your comments and feedback that you've given us in the past have really helped us to make this an even better show, and we deeply appreciate all the help and support. Either way, thanks so much for watching and have an awesome day. Somehow you and Mission Control... Are you kidding me with this truck? Are you kidding me with this truck? Really? Thanks. Thanks, trash truck. Swear to God. Every time I do one of these videos, there's like a trash day, or there's a giant truck going by, or everyone's mowing their lawns. Are you really? Right now? Right now. Okay, fine. Just back up. That's cool. Your big giant beepers and your huge engine. My son's probably very excited in his bedroom. The truck, Daddy, the truck! Oh my gosh. They just did a U-turn on our tiny road in a garbage truck. I give them props. That was actually impressive. Okay. One more time. There's now a child crying outside. Stop crying, child. Please don't cry. I feel bad. I'm like worried and I want to go look. Oh my God. Now my neighbor is washing his house. I swear to God. And that's instant transmission. And that's instant transmission. And that's incoming. I think I said instant transmission earlier. And that is incoming transmission. Really? Now there's a car. Now there's a car going by. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode. Why do I say episode? Episode. Hi. Now a plane. Now there's a plane. Goodbye, plane.